Hey everyone, welcome back to the Facts on JW. I'm Anthony, and today we're going to be talking about Jehovah's Witness update number 7. This one is as boring as it gets, like usual, with none other than the windbag himself, Jeffrey Winder. Guys, you've got to see this to believe it. Here we go.
Welcome. In this program, we'll share exciting highlights from the 2025 Service Year Report. We'll also share some encouraging experiences from the campaign we had in September. But first, here are some updates. On October 24th through 26th, 2025, a special convention was held in Kobe, Japan. Over 3,000 delegates attended from 35 countries. The peak attendance was 22,591. A highlight was the baptism of 93 new brothers and sisters. Conventions strengthen our brotherhood. They also give a powerful witness. A delegate from Mauritius related this experience. A hotel chef asked, "What kind of group is this?" I explained we were Jehovah's Witnesses attending a special event. He said, "Everyone wearing this badge is so refreshing, polite, and always smiling." Later, he brought a colleague and said, "These are the wonderful people I mentioned, well-dressed, courteous, and impressive." He said he might even attend the convention on his day off. Toward the end, he shared, "I've met foreign missionaries before, but you're completely different. You're truly refreshing, and I actually look forward to coming to work every day because of you."
Okay, well, on October the 24th through October the 26th, they had an international convention in Japan, Kobe, Japan, that 3,000 delegates from 35 countries attended, with a grand total in attendance of 22,000, what was that number? 22,591. Numbers are probably a little inflated, but you get the idea. Now, this tells you something's bad wrong right here. 22,591 in attendance, with a grand total of 93 baptized. Wow, those statistics are terrible. That ought to tell you right there that this organization is failing in a very fast and very quick way. It's definitely going down. And as always, in a lot of these big conventions, you'll see, and they've been doing this for years and years. I've went back and looked at other videos. They'll have some elaborate story about how wonderful the Jehovah's Witnesses are. In this one of the cooks at the convention, or at one of the places there at the convention, was talking about how wonderfully dressed and how well-mannered the Jehovah's Witnesses were. Those people with those badges on. And guys, you know as well, nobody said that. As they always like to embellish things and make it seem like they're all so great and grand. And it's just the same story over and over and over regurgitated, only at conventions to boost the morale of the people and to make them feel special. You know, it's just the same thing as if when they talk about worldly people or other organizations like other Christian groups that they consider to be of Satan, the only prayers that Jehovah hears is Jehovah's Witnesses. He doesn't hear those people because they're of Satan. Don't even listen to their prayers. So, you know, it makes them have this elitism. And they play on that. And they play with the members. It's part of the brainwashing technique to make them feel like they're in something special. And the only special thing they're in is a declining cult that's going down very rapidly. And it's not growing like they claim. If point blank, any kingdom hall in the United States, in Canada, from what I'm hearing, UK, you can go into at any given time. And please feel free if you feel like you can handle it. If not, take our word for it. But if you can handle it, go in and take a look at the attendance. Take a picture, post it, show the world that it's less than half the membership that once was there. All across the US, all across Canada, all across Europe. But the places they're growing in is third world countries where people have less access to technology and to find out things about these cults. And that's called playing on the vulnerable. And that's what they're good at. They love to play on the vulnerable. You know, like a leech that's looking to attack something to suck the blood. That's the way they are. They're the leech of the cult world. Anyway, let's continue on with this update. You guys are going to get a kick out of it.
Pure worship glorifies Jehovah. While conventions bring joy, some of our brothers have faced very different circumstances recently. Natural disasters. The Philippines faced multiple natural disasters in the span of 7 weeks. They had 5 typhoons and 2 significant earthquakes. As a result, nearly 2,000 publishers were displaced and 99 homes were destroyed. And an additional 548 homes and 36 kingdom halls were damaged. 10 of our brothers and sisters were injured, but thankfully, none of our brothers and sisters were killed. 12 disaster relief committees have been appointed to coordinate relief aid. In Jamaica, on October 28, 2025, Hurricane Melissa struck as a Category 5 storm, with winds of nearly 300 kilometers or 185 miles per hour. This was one of the strongest hurricanes ever recorded in the Atlantic Ocean. Deadly floods and landslides also hit Jamaica's southern coast. Hurricane Melissa also affected parts of Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, the Bahamas, the Turks and Caicos Islands, and Bermuda. How were our brothers affected? Thankfully, none of our brothers or sisters were killed, but 14 were injured. A combined total of 679 were displaced, 79 homes were destroyed, and 1,165 additional homes were damaged. 4 kingdom halls were destroyed. 40 kingdom halls and 5 assembly halls were also damaged. 4 disaster relief committees are providing help. When disasters like these occur, we're deeply concerned about our brothers and sisters. It's just as the Apostle Paul said at 1 Corinthians 12, 25, and 26. So that there should be no division in the body, but its members should have mutual concern for one another. If one member suffers, all the other members suffer with it. According to the study note on verse 25, the phrase, its members should have mutual concern for one another, literally means the members should be anxious over one another. It goes on to say, the use of this verb highlights the intensity with which the members of the Christian congregation should care about the spiritual, physical, and material welfare of fellow believers. Please continue to pray earnestly for those affected by disasters earth-wide. We're also deeply grateful for the many volunteers working to provide spiritual, physical, and material relief. And that includes all of you. Thank you for your prayers and your generous donations, which make this relief work possible.
Okay, everybody. This one here kind of gripes my butt. These guys talk about all the damages that happen in the Philippines with the 7 weeks of the typhoons and the earthquakes and the homeless people. 2,000 people, are out of a place to live because of damage to their home, and 99 homes destroyed, 548 homes damaged but livable, 36 kingdom halls damaged, 10 people injured. They're playing this and milking it. Then they talk about Hurricane Melissa that hit Jamaica, Haiti, the Dominican Republic, Cuba, Turks and Caicos, Bahamas, Bermuda. And they play on people's emotions and sympathy on this. And they talk about as if they are actually helping someone. But get this, they talk about, oh, it had 185 mile an hour winds. It's the most deadliest and strongest hurricane to ever hit the Atlantic Ocean, which I need to research that to see. But anyway, they talk about the 40 kingdom halls that were damaged, the 4 that were destroyed, the 5 assembly halls that were damaged, 14 people injured, 679 people homeless, 1,165 homes dead. They go on to talk about it, and they say they put together delegates to help and to go together. They have not contributed nothing. They even say, hey, without the donations from the members, this wouldn't happen, because the headquarters does not give 1 red penny to help people. They don't do it. They don't help no one. The only people that's going and helping these poor people are the members. They could do this without the Jehovah's Witness headquarters. It's the ridiculous thing ever. The headquarters is not a charitable organization. They are profitable. They are a for-profit realtor company and publishing company. It's a realtor company that built itself on a publishing company. But they don't help or give charity to no one. The only charity they're getting is the charity the members are giving them. And that is it. And if you don't believe it, listen to them. You got to learn how to read between the lines with Jehovah's Witness leadership. They say, without the donations of the members, none of this would be possible. And that's true. It's the members' money that does this. It's the members that donate their time, their effort, their energy to go help these poor people. But the leadership gives no money in return. They don't give any aid to these people. It's the members that give the money and the aid. It just chaps my ass. I cannot believe these people. To be so awful, arrogant, to take credit for somebody else's good deeds. That is the ultimate wrong. And then quote scripture to try to back them up in it. Now get that. Of course, if you ever notice, they love to just quote one verse, and there's other Christian groups that do this as well. And when people start doing that, run. Read the entire chapter. Take it in its context. Don't read a verse and think the whole chapter is talking about that. Read the entire chapter and draw your own conclusion. Not one verse from a chapter and build a doctrine around it. You can make it say and think anything. But this here is something that how these people are considered a charity is well beyond me. But trust me, whether people know it or not, they are being looked very closely at right now, and they don't even know it. So it's coming to a head. They see the writing on the wall. The days are numbered. But anyway, let's get back to this. I just had to put my 2 cents in on this because it just irks me to see. And away we go again. It only gets better.
Brothers and sisters, whatever challenges you're facing, we're so encouraged to see your zeal for the ministry. That zeal was evident in our recent worldwide preaching campaign. In September 2025, we had the joy of sharing in the global distribution of the Watchtower entitled An End to War, How? We also invited interested ones to the special talk. Here are a couple of encouraging experiences from the campaign. A sister in Argentina made a special effort to share in public witnessing during her lunch break. She knew her employer was a former Bible student, so she told her about the global campaign. She also encouraged her to consider resuming her Bible study. Later, the sister learned that 2 co-workers overheard the conversation and had many questions. As a result, both co-workers accepted a Bible study. The next day, the sister's employer agreed to resume her study. Now all 3 are studying, and 2 attended the special talk. In Belgium, a woman kindly greeted 2 sisters who knocked on her door. When the sister showed her the featured issue of the Watchtower, she readily accepted it. On a subsequent visit, the woman told our sisters that she had also visited our website. She had watched the video, Why Does God Allow Suffering? She said that she appreciated the logical, reassuring answers to her questions. The sisters offered her a Bible study, which she gladly accepted. While attending the special talk, the woman listened attentively. After the program, the woman said that she longs to be around people who genuinely want to serve God. She continues to enjoy a regular Bible study. But these experiences are just a tiny glimpse of what happened during the special campaign.
Okay, everyone, this preaching campaign must have been an absolute failure. They're talking about some people that got some studies going. They mentioned, three, maybe four different people. One lady even went online and read the articles on the Jehovah's Witness website. Oh, for real? If you got access to the internet, it's just a matter of time before you see all of the dirt they're hiding from you. And I don't know how many people out there have had Bible studies, but I want you to really stop and think about this. For every Bible study you've heard about or have been part of, if you're in the United States or Canada or the United Kingdom, how many people actually got baptized that was not a family member? Really seriously think about that. So these made up stories that were the writing committee must have been really bored this day, because these are the silliest of the three stories I've ever heard. So this lady had a coworker and her boss started to study that had studied before. Really? Show me the proof of this. I want to see it, first of all. Secondly, so what? You're grasping for straws on this one, guys. This one is absolutely hilarious. They ain't talking about people getting baptized. They're talking about some studies they had from this campaign. It must have been an absolute disaster. Anyway, let's continue on, because it really just gets even more crazy. Jeffrey Winder is, I guess, Watchtowers professional fib teller. So here we go. Let's continue on and see what happens.
But now, let's look at the report of our preaching activities for the 2025 service year. The 2025 year text encouraged us to give Jehovah the glory due his name. Well, Jehovah's people all over the world did just that. We rejoiced to see an average of 9,047,083 publishers. That represents a 2.5% increase. What's more, out of the 241 lands where we preached the good news, 96 reported all-time peaks in the number of publishers. In addition to the worldwide campaign to offer Bible studies in September 2024, various branches hosted local preaching campaigns during the service year. The emphasis on starting conversations and offering Bible studies clearly has Jehovah's blessing. For example, from June to August 2025, our brothers and sisters in Peru shared in a preaching campaign. What was the objective? To reach communities in 5 diverse regions of the country. These range from the Amazon River to high in the Andes Mountains. What was the response? During the campaign, nearly 10,000 people expressed interest in our Bible study course and asked to learn more about it. Similarly, from July to August 2025, thousands of our brothers and sisters shared in the first ever preaching campaign in Zambia's Western Province. An estimated 1.3 million people live in this vast and beautiful region. For many people who live in remote areas of the province, this was their first opportunity to hear the Bible's message. What was the result? During the campaign, over 24,500 people requested a Bible study. Isn't that amazing? Truly, the fields are white for harvesting. In fact, worldwide, there was a 1.6% increase in the number of Bible studies conducted last service year. And it was heartwarming to see that 304,643 were baptized during the service year. This is a 2.8% increase over last year. And what about the memorial attendance? How encouraging that 20,635,015 attended the memorial, and 15 lands reported an all-time peak attendance. Let's hear some additional highlights from the 2025 Service Year Report.
In the Philippines, we had a new peak averaging over 268,200 publishers. And recently, for the 37th month in a row, we reached a new peak in regular pioneers, now totaling over 79,000. That's on average 531 new pioneers each month.
In the country of Mexico, we reached a new peak of 879,024 publishers. And we also had a new peak of regular pioneers, more than 173,000.
In Indonesia, we had a peak in the number of publishers, 32,371. That represents a 3% increase over last year. We also recently reached an all-time peak in the number of regular pioneers, over 7,100.
In Angola, we had a 6% increase in the number of publishers. That brought us to over 184,000, which is a new peak. But since then, we've already reached a new all-time peak of 190,939 publishers in September.
In Zimbabwe, we were pleased to see a peak in the number of publishers, over 53,700. That's an increase of 7%. In addition, we recently reached an all-time peak in the number of regular pioneers, over 10,600.
In Congo-Kinshasa, we had an 11% increase in the number of publishers, with over 297,000. We also had all-time peaks in the number of Bible studies and in memorial attendance. In fact, over 1.4 million people attended the memorial. That is over 4 times the number of publishers.
In the country of France, we are happy to report a new peak in the number of publishers, 139,548.
In Madagascar, we had a 7% increase in the number of publishers. That brings us to a new peak of over 44,500. We had nearly 4 times that many attend the memorial, with an all-time peak of 176,453.
In Brazil, we had a new peak of over 930,000 publishers. Since then, we've already reached a new all-time peak of over 940,000 publishers in September.
These are just a few highlights from the 2025 Service Year Report. It's evidence of Jehovah's rich blessing. It also reflects your outstanding zeal for the preaching work. And we take this opportunity to commend you for your share in giving our God the glory due His name. Well, as we've seen in this update, our brothers and sisters are not immune to serious challenges such as natural disasters, but they do not give up in doing what is fine. Jehovah keeps strengthening and blessing these faithful ones. And He's blessing each one of us as we have a full share in the ministry. May we continue to do our very best for Jehovah. Brothers and sisters, please know that we love you all very much and keep you in our prayers. From the world headquarters of Jehovah's Witnesses, this is JW Broadcasting.
All right, guys, so I don't know if you caught that. They said they had, a 1.6% increase in Bible studies. They had 304,643 people baptized for last year, or this past year. But they only had an increase in publishers, 221,000. So you're telling me that like 90,000 people got baptized and never came back? Obviously. And how many of these people were children? And, they're targeting these people in these third world countries that they're playing on the vulnerable, that have no internet access. They have no way to research the awful past and the awful present of the Jehovah's Witnesses, the things that they hide. So, then they also mentioned that the memorial, they have 20 million people worldwide Well, you know, the one guy said there in the Congo they had almost 2 million attend at that memorial. So, I mean, the numbers are kind of really bad. Like places like the United States, they didn't mention. They didn't mention Canada. They didn't mention the UK. They didn't mention Australia. You know, they didn't mention most of Europe, with the exception of France. So their numbers have declined so pitifully that they're having to rely on areas that have no internet access or very little and play on those vulnerable people. But anyway, this one was kind of uneventful, but it was educational at the same time. You can see how they always can rely on Jeffrey Winder to give us his version of what he considers to be the truth. So, as you can see, those numbers that they're claiming and the numbers they claim they have are definitely not so. There again, I challenge anyone to go into any Kingdom Hall in the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, and most of Europe. Take pictures, look around at what the congregation once was, what it is today, and be your own judge. Just take a look. Proof's right there. And as they sell more Kingdom Halls and consolidate more Kingdom Halls and claim they're building them, which was the last time you saw a new build in the United States, Canada, those places, you know, there's no new builds going on. So definitely go take a picture. Take a look for your own self. Be your own judge. Don't let somebody else tell you what the truth is. Go find the truth for yourself. With that being said, guys, don't forget, hit the thumbs up, ring the bell for notifications so you never miss an episode off this channel. And if you like everything that we got to say, get us a cup of coffee. Or don't forget to join us on our membership or Patreon. And we're live every Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time, United States. So hope to see you guys there. And always remember, love everybody around you. Peace, love, see you guys.